Hey guys, what is up? Here's your pal iField Inspiring here, and today I'm going to be finishing my Goku Black series right now. So, anyways, I am time-lapsing this to conserve time because the video was incredibly long, up to 17 minutes long. So I figured this might be quicker than my last one. So anyways, the first thing I'm going to be doing is inking my art with a pen. It doesn't matter what kind, as long as you'll be able to see it afterward. It should look somewhat like this when you're inking it. Just trace it exactly over the line, so that way, as soon as you're done, you can start erasing those excess lines that were not necessary. Keep in mind, when you ink your art, only ink the parts that you want to keep in your drawing. If you ink the parts that you don't want to keep in, or you want to erase, it might end up messing up your drawing. You might have to either start over or find a pack of whiteout, which nobody really wants to do because it might eventually ruin it up. Now, since I have finished inking it, I begin to erase those excess lines that are unnecessary, as you can see. Now it starts to look a bit more clear and less junky, as you can tell. Now I erased everything except the blade on his arm. Now I begin to start drawing outlines for the hair, which for some reason I mess up later on in the video. Then I start to cover the hair in permanent marker just because it covers up more space. It makes it just a little bit easier on me. And as you can see, it's completely full. It looks legit, and I really like the way it looked later. As soon as when I kept on going, it just looked really nice. So now eventually I began to work on eyebrows. Now when I did the pupils of the eyes, I decided to do it with pencil because I figured they might work if it was a little bit lighter. Now you begin to draw the undershirt of his gi, which is like just pitch black basically. Now I leave those little lines as the creases for the undertone of his gi, basically, which I'm going to fill in with pencil eventually. Sometimes when you do creases, they're usually darker than they're supposed to be, but it doesn't really matter to me. You already did it in permanent marker, so there's no going back from there. Now I eventually do those little highlights on his hair with pencil, just because it looks a bit better instead of leaving it completely white. It gives a bit more detail. Now I'd color the nose and the shadings of his skin in brown, just so you can get that going. Now, as you can see, I begin to shade in his face with a Crayola colored pencil. The color was peach, since I don't have those professional drawing markers and whatnot, unfortunately. I really wish I had them. It might make it so much easier. Then I begin to draw the little belt, that little belt on his gi. I go with the dark red, then I eventually go with the lighter red to do some more highlights. It doesn't come out as well on the phone because, you know, the quality isn't as good as it used to be, unfortunately. Now, for some reason, I accidentally got peach on the hair, and eventually it kind of looked a bit better on my paper, but I wasn't paying attention to my phone as I was drawing it. So then eventually, next thing you know, bam, I messed up the hair. Now I start doing those dark outlines on the gi for the creases. So then I go ahead and shade the rest in pencil instead of permanent marker. Because as you can tell in most references, the gi is like a grayish color instead of pitch black like the under part. Now I begin to color in his hand. Then I color in the other hand. Now I go ahead and start with a light shading of red for the blade. Then I go over in pink. Then I redo it in red again to make it a bit darker. Now that is up. I hope this tutorial helped you guys out. I really appreciate it. Thanks. Later.